5 years without a trophy. When do we stop talking about Manchester United now in the context of Manchester United that we've been watching previously?
Until they start winning trophies again, I suppose. Look, it's a club. It's the biggest club in the world, I think, and it needs to be winning trophies. They spend a lot of money year in, year out on players. We think the best players at times, but they haven't produced. We thought this year was going to be a little bit different. You know, we had some really good young players, but these young players that everybody thinks are great players aren't yet. They're not great players until they've won something. We keep talking about the potential to win something, the potential to prove it in big games. They haven't done that yet, and they've still got to prove they can do that.
Do any of you think that they've got what it takes to win this competition?
No, I don't. If you're being honest, I think they're nowhere near it in the league. Yes, it's a knockout competition. It's a bit different, but I see 3, 4, maybe 5 teams that I would say are ahead of Manchester United to win this at least. And you need a level of consistency as well to be able to perform, and you've got to perform home and away, and you've got to get the job done. And like the lads are saying, at times there's been occasions where you thought, actually, I can see something, and then all of a sudden they take 2 steps back. And you need 11, 13, 14 players every game, when you use your squad in every game, to go out there and perform, and Man United have been guilty of not being able to do that enough.
I mean, I think the biggest reason why they're behind and they're not going to be able to win the Champions League or win the league is just recruitment. You know, look at Man City and Liverpool, they virtually never miss. You know, they got a group of players that have a shape, they have a formation, a style, and then they add 1 or 2. I think for United, they need to get the recruitment right this summer and figure out how they want to play going forward, the style, philosophy, and get 1 or 2 in. I think you look at a lot of positions, they've got a lot of great players, but it's put together by a lot of different people with different ideas, and I think they need to get on one page with one idea.
There's a lot to do, though, isn't there? Because you're talking about recruitment. Yeah. Who's leading that? You've got to
but that's my point, Rio.
You know, manager as well.
I think it's difficult for Ralph right now in terms of he's trying to create something with not his players, and I think he's made some big calls. But I think, again, we speak about recruitment. City and Liverpool, they only need 1 or 2. I think United, they got a lot of good pieces, but who plays and how do they want to play is, you know, we never really know, do we?
That might change when a proper manager comes in, though. I think when you get an elite, top-class manager, I think that can change. It's easy saying to City and Liverpool, look, they're the best teams, by far away the best teams.
They've built for a while.
But it's easy. It's easy to bring 1 or 2 players. There's no hassle, no
but
confusion around it. Now, United have got a lot of talent. They haven't got a top-class squad like Liverpool and City. And I agree, recruitment is important. It will be for next season. But it's getting the right person to lead that group.
I agree that, but my only point is with City and Liverpool, they almost don't miss in the transfer market anymore, do they? They don't miss. Everybody they sign is, you know, 34 million well invested, 50 million well invested. United, you think there's players that actually don't fit the project, you know, and I think that's where they can't afford to miss anymore. That's my point.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
It was easy. It was easy when we had a good team, Rio. You just bring 1 or 2 players into it. They fit in perfectly, and that's the way it goes when your team's going really well.
Yeah.
Now, when you bring a manager, he might get this group of players playing really well, and all of a sudden it does come a lot easier. But I still think there's a recruitment to be done. You think of 2 centre forwards, Cavani and Cristiano, 37, 34. That's not Man United centre forward, is it? Really?
And the more you think about it, the more of a big job it seems, because until there's some clarity with director of football, manager, philosophy, approach, how do you even begin? How do you even identify who to buy now?
Yeah, well, how do you sell the dream to players then as well? That's the big thing as well. You're talking about recruitment of players. Say you're going to go and get one of the top young talents in the world. How do you sell the club to him? Because there needs to be a direction.
He says, where do I fit in, doesn't he?
Understand of where he's going. Because when you're a player, Scholes, you never had to do it, but when you're going to another club, when I was going to Man United or to Leeds, I'm sitting there thinking, right, tell me the plan. What's the route? What's the journey for the next 3 or 4 years while I'm signing, while I'm being there?
Just come and win.
Exactly, you want to win. Man United aren't afforded that. They can't say that in the spiel to the next new player.
No, I agree.
It's about structure, it's about players being part of the new journey. So it's a different proposition for a new player, but you've got to make it something that looks mouthwatering to that player.
Surely behind the scenes, or there must be somebody doing that.
Yeah, well,
there must be a clear plan behind the scenes of, right, we know who the next manager is going to be. We tried to get him end of November when this man came in, couldn't get him. Can we get him in the summer? And then there has to be a clear plan from signing, recruitment. They'll speak to the man. You can speak to the man, even if it's Pochettino. You can still speak to him. He can speak to players. He can tell the club exactly what you need.
I do think they're doing what we're talking about, though. I do think
they've
that's started. The
got
ball's
to be.
rolling
They've
now,
got
and
to be,
they're in
yeah.
that process
Yeah, they have to be.
of knocking down those barriers and them walls to get to the point where there's some clarity going forward.